All right, what's up, everybody? We are on season 6, episode 13 of Better Call Saul, titled Saul Gone. It's, of course, the series finale, and we've been, waiting for this moment for a very long time. It's the end of an era. That's literally, the best way to put it. And for me, especially, of course, having been a Breaking Bad fan since 2011, that's when I first started watching, when season 4 had just come out, actually. It's bittersweet, and it's a little bit surreal. It's kind of like, you can't quite understand fully yet how much you're going to be missing this until it's actually gone, I guess, and until you've actually had it all sink in on you. But um, I don't know, man. Like I said, it really is bittersweet. I've been kind of preparing myself by listening to a bunch of the songs across the entire series. You know, Baby Blue, for example, yesterday, right before I went to bed, and it's like, damn, man, it couldn't hit me more in the moment. You know what I mean? But it's so. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, of course, we know that when it comes to Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, this universe, they've said that they haven't ruled out that there could still be some type of, I don't know, movie, spin-off show, who knows, at some point down the road. But at the same time, Vince Gilligan, I think, and even the other creators, Peter Gold and, some of the other people, have made it pretty clear that, like, they want to do something different now. In fact, there's already a bunch of news about, like a kind of different pitch that he's currently working on, I guess, for something else entirely, like I said. And so whatever they do next, I'll be here for it. I want to make that very clear. And I actually, that's the thing too. I so respect the mindset in general that these creators have, where, like, with Breaking Bad, a lot of people wanted it to continue. Still, they wanted it to go on, and they thought that 5 seasons wasn't enough, but it was the perfect amount. Same thing with Better Call Saul right now, I feel. These 6 seasons, it was the perfect amount. It's basically the exact same length that Breaking Bad was, when you really think about it. And it was the exact, length that they needed to tell the story that they wanted to tell, right? And so, again, it's that expression that I hear Vince Gilligan use all the time, but, like, you don't want to, you want to leave the party while it's still going on, I guess, and while everybody is like, oh no, don't go yet, you know what I mean? Because that way you'll be missed. And I think it's so perfect. It's such a perfect analogy for, these shows in general. But going into this episode, I mean, the strange part is that there's still, like, you can kind of tell the direction it's going in, I guess, but at the same time, nothing is ruled out, and it does seem a little bit much in a way for them to wrap up in a single episode. Then again, I feel like this is the exact feeling that I had when Breaking Bad, the Felina episode, was about to air. I'm like, how are they going to say goodbye to all of these characters? And they did it in such a great way that, I have no worries. That's the thing too. They've been kind of teasing about this ending, that it might be something a little bit different, which it would be super interesting to me to see what they're gonna do with it. If it's gonna be like a little bit more poetic or open-ended, or I'm not sure how to put it, instead of really something definitive, like, the Breaking Bad ending, I guess, was. But I don't know. I mean, in all fairness, this is just the thing, but I can't stress out enough how much I actually just respect and appreciate the creators behind this show. It's kind of rare, man. I gotta say that. Like, usually, I'm not somebody who looks up to, for example, actors and actresses and kind of the cast and stuff, right? Or even the people responsible for the story and stuff. When I see them speak in interviews, I don't know. It, like, doesn't. It's what I'm trying to say is, like, Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould. They're both such, I don't know, to me they seem like such genuine people, you know what I mean? And that's something that I find so rare to see in this industry. And you can just tell that, like, the only thing that they've always been focused on is telling a great story. And it's all that they talk about too, like their love for storytelling. And it shows. The quality of storytelling in a show like this is just completely unmatched, right? And the detail that goes into every single scene, the extra sort of layers that you can get out of it. In a way, you could say that Better Call Saul has gotten a little bit deeper, and for me, that's not even necessarily a good thing when I compare it to Breaking Bad. Like, you could kind of see it as a little bit more pretentious sometimes, where you have to get these extra meanings out of it and stuff, and, like, you can, but And again, I'm not the kind of guy for that usually, but I absolutely love it here. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's deep, but it's at the same time not hard to get when you really think about it a little bit more. It's not like, oh yeah, let's that's always the problem that I get with the real pretentious stories, I guess, where it just feels like the creators themselves weren't even sure about the answers. And here you do very much see that every moment is thought out, right? I've been talking here for 5 minutes without even getting into the episode at hand, but I just wanted to, put those things out there, I guess. And yeah, like as I talked about, the direction that this finale will be going in. Well, I don't know. It seems to me it's almost hilarious how we are going into this last episode here almost the exact same way as we went into Felina, with Saul on the run instead of Walt, of course. But I have a feeling like it's going to just play out also hilariously oppositely, maybe, where Saul, assuming that he does go to prison, which kind of just seems like the obvious direction it is going to be going in. I mean, that's a way for him to still meet up with Kim, if they have to be in a courtroom together or something because of this, right? Defending themselves. That's the only way I can see it. Kim also bringing up that she needed him as a witness still, to confirm the story about Howard and everything. That's gotta be the direction it's going in. But yeah, again, that would mean that Saul has to get busted here immediately at the start of the episode, I assume. Because how else are you going to be wrapping all of this stuff up in a single 60-minute, I think, episode? I don't know. But yeah, I again, it's like you can't tell what they're going to do. Is Saul simply going to be going to prison? Is he going to be, defending himself? Is somebody else going to be defending him? Is he going to escape from it all? It's still a question on my mind. In a strange way, I would actually like for that to happen too. Because, and again, it's this thing that I've been thinking about with Saul, but like we've seen him definitely over the past couple of episodes now sort of turn into a villain, right? More of an antagonist, I would say, than he had ever been. And while, yeah, like to some people I saw them kind of feeling like it was almost out of character, but I don't honestly think it was. I think the way that they explain it was beautiful, but that's the thing. Every single action of Saul, as fucked up as it is, and as much as he definitely deserves, the justice is deserved, right? Him going to prison would be totally deserved for everything that he's done. But at the same time, I still love him for it because it just makes him so human. And we can tell that every single thing that he did, he doesn't really seem to have control over it, right? It's kind of like the way Chuck described it, and Howard as well. You can't help yourself. That's the thing that's so, yeah, I don't know, that makes me warm up to him so much. And every single thing that he does, again, it's motivated by him being hurt, by just, yeah, like very negative emotions, and by, the phone call that he had with Kim here in this instance, of course, that we saw in the past couple episodes. I don't know, that like even if he gets away with it, it would to me be okay, in all honesty. Although I don't see that happening, I also don't know how you're going to end the story then, because he would have to assume once again another identity, and it's going to be kind of, we're going to be left in the exact same spot that we started the show with. So that doesn't seem like the outcome that will happen. If he goes to prison, I've been thinking about that too, but it doesn't even, like, I don't know why he's that afraid for it, if that makes sense. Or why, I guess he just likes his freedom, right? But I feel like if he does go to prison, he would find it might kind of be the ideal environment for him, right? Kind of being there surrounded by all the same people that usually tended to be your clients, getting to do your, either your pranks on them or getting to help them out or whatever. He's going to be the king of the jail, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's, I can definitely see them sort of going in that direction too. The question is, of course, what happens to Kim again? Like, does she have the same fate waiting for her, or is there going to be something entirely differently, awaiting her? And what kind of life is she going to live? It's so hard to just make it all out in advance right now. And so I don't want to do too much speculating about it, because we really should just be diving in. Maybe a couple more things that I'm kind of, I don't know if I'm hoping for them or if I'm expecting them. But again, there is just so much you can do with this final episode, right? I wonder if we're still going to get some kind of flashback, for example, with Chuck. I would love to see that. I'd always envisioned beforehand that something really powerful they could do for the final episode, or episodes maybe, is like showing us what it was that actually gave Chuck this mental illness that he had, right? Maybe a certain moment or something that led up to it, I assume involving Jimmy or whatever, right? It would be so powerful. I don't know if there's any time or if there's any sense for it to still happen right now, but it would sure be something, right? But yeah, are we going to see Chuck? Are we going to see Howard? We know there's still going to be a scene with Walt, which I'm also surprised that they kind of left that for the final episode, and I genuinely wonder how it's going to tie in, of course, to the events happening now. I definitely do think that the ideal or the most... what I expect the most is that it's going to be kind of a scene with them just like going over everything that was happening while he was at the vacuum cleaner guy's store, I guess, like the conversations that they had there. I assume that's what it kind of could be about. We also know from the teaser that like Saul is going to be calling the vacuum cleaner guy, but probably to no avail. I assume either he's not going to be available, or he's just not picking up, or maybe they'll somehow have a voice on the line saying that he passed away or whatever, right? In terms of the show's actual timeline, just a couple of weeks, I think. But it would be kind of I don't know. I mean, the actor passed away, of course, a couple of years ago, so it would make a lot of sense that like they actually announced that the vacuum guy in the story also passed away or something. Like I said, there is so many directions in a way still that the last episode can go into, but it sounds a little bit... I mean, usually I'm a very critical person, and so nothing is ever ruled out to me. And even, everybody can be hyped as fuck for something coming up, and I'll still be the person saying like, okay, let's just wait for it to come out and see what it does. But somehow, and that's, I guess, really like what I was trying to bring across, with everything Better Call Saul's been doing, I didn't even know that I needed it. That was the way I described a lot of the scenes in the last season, but honestly in the show in general. With the creators that I know so well behind this, I feel like they can do no wrong. And again, I know how crazy that sounds, and maybe, like, I have literally shut off my internet for the past 12 hours here to make sure that I did not get spoiled on anything. I have not seen anybody talk about it. I have not seen, like, what the reception to it is. Who knows? Maybe it's gonna be suddenly a lot more mixed. I just don't feel like it's gonna happen. I feel like it's gonna be loved universally, and that's the feeling I have going into it right now, and I don't see how they're gonna, not do it in the absolute best way that they possibly could. So those are basically my thoughts going into the series finale here for Better Call Saul. I also love the title, Saul Gone, although, it's a little bit, again, what does that mean? And you could interpret that in good, but also in very bad ways. So, I don't know, guys. I really hope that you've enjoyed the journey with me. Of course, make sure that you hit the subscription button as well as the notification bell. I'll be reacting to a lot more series moving forward. And yeah, then for now, let's dive into Season 6, Episode 13 of Better Call Saul. Starting over the real Breaking Bad shot. Oh, back to the car. Just like we saw in the teaser. Oh, that's still from the Bagman episode, I guess, right? Really? We're going back to this episode? What happened? Oh, this is when he found water for the first time. Wow, I love how he just looks the exact same. You wouldn't be able to tell that this was shot later.
We're sitting on $7 million here. Literally. I say we take it, split it 50-50, take off.
It's not ours.
First thing we do, take $6 million and build a time machine. Those people that you're worried about, they would never find us. Where would you go first, huh? You look like a history buff.
I don't think these are kind of conversations that Mike naturally leans towards.
Times or, ancient Rome?
Oh, crap.
Yeah, exactly. He would be like, shut the fuck up.
December 8, 2001.
Why?
No.
for
March
his...
17th, 1984.
Yeah, it has to do with his son, I assume.
Day I took my first bribe.
Well, the first date he mentioned was the son getting killed, I think.
You.
It's easy. May 10, 1965. That's the day Warren Buffett took over at Berkshire Hathaway. I figure, got $1 million left from building the time machine, so I take my half. And just stick it into Berkshire.
Yeah, it would be a good investment, I guess.
Back here, and
You'd be rich now.
I'm a billionaire.
I know that the creators are actually friends with Warren Buffett, apparently, so...
Trillionaire?
That's it, buddy.
What else?
Nothing you change.
Yeah, Mike is in it for family. Yep, right back to it.
Mary, are you still there?
Yes, it's a little car.
Oh,
Beige.
wow.
I don't know the make.
Giving them all the details they need to know. Yeah, he's, I assume, just gonna go back to his house and pick up the
64.
diamonds right away, right?
Oh, please get him.
I feel like they will. Out of the window. Damn, man. Yo, why would you walk? You better hurry this shit up, dude. I was about to say. Yeah, there's no way he's getting away with this. What's he gonna do? Hide in a trash bin just like he did in season 1? Pretending to be at the Magic Flute contest? Or opera, I mean. Yeah, we've seen this before. You gotta love the callbacks. Vacuum guy, yep, okay, he's calling him from here. Oh my god. You telling me you won't even be able to call him, or what? Oh my god, there go the diamonds, it's all going to shit. Yeah, they got you, dude. Just give up. Wow.
Anybody home?
Wow.
Hands, now.
Wow. They said anybody home. Yep, this is the only way it was going to go, I guess.
This is how they get you. This is how they get you. This is how they get you.
Oh man.
This is how they get you.
Damn, he's completely broken.
Jesus. What were you?
Fuck, man. I don't know if I want to see the rest of this episode anymore. Is he thinking about which lawyer he's gonna get now? Oh my god. Yeah, I guess he had never pictured being in this situation himself.
I need another phone call! Another phone call!
He wants to get a lawyer. Is he gonna get this guy, or is this guy here for Kim?
William Oakley and Associates. Trust experience. Trust Oakley. Bill Oakley speaking.
Trust experience,
Oh.
trust Oakley. I like that. It's catchy. You know who this is, right?
Wow, the voice.
Saul? What are you, what are you doing? You know I'm gonna have to report this call.
Yeah, he's like, they're looking for you.
Calm down, Junior. The cops know all about the call. No matter who your lawyer is, you are screwed. So I gotta ask, where do you see this ending?
Yeah. Good question
see it
to
ending?
answer for us as well.
With me on top, like always.
I'm not sure if that's cut out for you anymore, man. But you wonder if there's still a possibility for him to somehow make it out with one last amazing scheme or way to... Holy shit, Marie!
Rico.
Not 5, not 10, but 27 predicate violations. By our count, that's life plus
190.
life plus 190 years.
Damn, did not think we would be seeing Marie in the final episode like this. Oh, wait, the guy next to her.
a garbage dumpster.
That's the police guy, right?
Hank and Steve, the good guys, they were shot dead and left in a hole in the desert. And you helped the two-faced, poisonous bastard behind it all.
Mrs. Schrader, the loss that you've suffered, it's unspeakable. I met your husband a few times. He was a man who stood by his word and was very good at his job. He was a straight shooter.
Also the first person
You
who
and me.
actually understood your name.
Victims. And so am I.
Oakley
2
looking
years
like,
ago,
oh, I'm not
Mayor
gonna like
came
hearing
into
this.
my office. He said his name was Mayhew. He wanted one of my clients to lie under oath. He offered me money. I declined.
That's
And he
true.
never would.
He declined the bribe.
That night, as I was leaving my office,
Captured
I
him.
was attacked. I was kneeling in front of an open grave with a gun pointed at my head. That was my introduction to Walter White. From
Not a
that
single
moment
lie
on,
there.
There hasn't been a minute that I wasn't afraid.
Well,
Yeah. I made a lot of money, but that's not why I did it. I did it because I knew what he would do to me if I refused.
well,
Over and over,
no,
I
that's
thought
what it
he would
turned
go to the
into later.
police. Walter White might be dead, but Jesse Pinkman and the others?
Ooh, that's still
They're still
out there. Yeah.
Somewhere.
He can act like he's afraid of them.
And you think jurors are gonna buy that?
One. All I need is one.
Judge Papadoumium.
Oakley tells me that you've never lost a case. Is that so? It's a hell of a record. Should be proud of that. Still, juries.
Okay, it's a 1v1.
You never can tell. It's a roll of the dice.
You're not going to negotiate with this man. You're not.
Damn, so he might actually have... Yeah, but Kim is gonna be coming in as well. Yeah, I so did not expect Marie to play this big of a part in the final episode. And yeah, that was Raimi sitting in, next to her too.
7.5 years.
Let's get this thing signed and get the hell out of here.
7.5 years.
As Steve Jobs used to say, one more thing.
I feel like he's not gonna take it,
20.
the whole thing.
During incarceration, defendant Goodman to receive 1 pint Bluebell mint chocolate chip ice cream every Friday for the duration.
You kidding?
Such typical Saul
Bluebell, mint chocolate
requests.
chips, no substitutions.
Okay, that's it.
Hold on. I can oil everybody's locks.
No more games.
Now I got a sweetener. It's nothing I've talked about. Concerns a prominent Albuquerque attorney who disappeared, believed to have killed him.
Oh,
Howard
shit.
You're talking about Howard Hamlin. That's your sweetener.
He thought he really had something.
Sounds like you and your ex aren't talking on a regular basis.
Kim Wexler walked into the Albuquerque DA's office last month. She spilled her guts about Howard Hamlin.
Yep. Oh, he didn't even know that yet, of course, yeah.
You got nothing left to sell. Last chance. Do we go to trial or do we have a deal?
Damn, that was the thing that he thought
Yes, we have a deal.
Let's get this in writing.
would sweeten it up big time, and now he doesn't have it. Yeah, so you're gonna have to take that 7.5 years. Honestly, that's a great deal, of course. This is definitely with Walt. Yep, this is the Walt scene at the vacuum. Wow, just like I thought.
Am I gonna be sorry if I ask what's going on?
I'm putting a stop to it.
Stop to what?
So what? Listen. Just listen.
It's just like The Fly all over again.
Click.
Come on. There we go.
Yeah,
This should work.
this is the mastermind right here, who they're all talking about. And Saul's last memory of him is just this guy right here.
Hey, you're a scientist, right? So I have a question. What would you do if you had a time?
A time machine? Quantum mechanics? We're discussing that now? Stay in your lane.
Hey, you gotta talk about something in
It's
here.
just a thought experiment. There's got to be something you'd go back and change if you could.
Yeah, Walt already talked about that, wanting to go back to,
You are not
like a little before Jane.
about a time machine, which is both a real and theoretical impossibility. You are talking about regrets. So if you want to
The
ask
best moment to die.
about regrets, just ask about regrets and leave all this time-traveling nonsense out of it.
Okay, regrets.
Walt didn't have many regrets, though.
My regrets. All right, well,
Well, Hank is the big regret at this point.
my regrets.
Oh, the watch.
When I was a graduate student, I started a company.
Oh, of course he's gonna talk about gray matter.
At the time, I thought they were my friends. At a certain point, I stepped away. I thought I was doing the gentlemanly thing. But little did I understand that they were artfully maneuvering me into leaving my own creation.
How could you never tell me about this? We could have done something with this. Wrongful termination, intellectual property theft, patent fraud. I mean, I could have sunk my teeth
Saul
into
would have
this.
wanted to take on gray matter. Oh,
Last
man.
lawyer I'd have gone to.
Yeah, sure.
That would have been a storyline, dude.
So what about you? You know what, never mind.
When I was 22, I pulled a slip and fall outside Marshall Fields. I did. And I was stupid and young, and I was trying to show off, so I hit the ice as fast as I could. I biffed it so hard I heard a crack. Wasn't the ice, it was me. I actually...
I've had a memory like that.
I mean, my knee's never been the same.
Yep.
A slip and fall. So you were always like this.
God, this episode, man. It is totally not playing out the way I thought. As usual. It's so fantastic.
Bill. Hey.
Just go
Sir, this man's a federal prisoner. I'm a U.S. Marshal.
Nothing I say in front of you is privileged, right?
That's right.
So if I talk to my attorney and we let something slip that could help the government's case, you could pass it along to the prosecution, totally clean.
Correct.
With that in mind, you're sure we can't have a few words?
might say something really stupid.
Confessed.
She confessed. What's the DA gonna do with it?
No witnesses, no physical evidence. If I had to guess, most likely they sit on it permanently.
Okay.
No, not okay. Not for her. Her problem's not the DA. The widow can take her for everything she has and everything she's gonna have in perpetuity.
What did he just think of? Oh my god, it's a Wayfarer flight. I hadn't even spotted that.
Now, wait, you're gonna love this. The Hamlin thing, the government doesn't know the half of it. As soon as we land, I want you to tell the other side that I've got more to trade. Okay, I just remembered something that'll make their toes curl.
Anything that makes their toes curl is bound to jam Kim up, if it involves her.
Oh, it involves her.
Kim's already got a civil suit hanging over her head. You give the government more, maybe they bring the hammer down.
You don't understand. It's really good ice cream.
Is he not gonna care? That face says it all. No, not the Karens again. Come on, man.
She'll have to.
Once was enough.
Oh yeah, that's nice. It's either red.
I swear, if we get another Yep scene, I'm out.
Top something? Top cappy. That's it, top cappy.
Okay, this is some kind of lawyer's office.
If he shows up, you keep that door locked. You call the police, and then you call me. Anytime, day or night, okay? Okay.
Well, you can already tell she's what a lawyer should be.
Fill this out, and before you ask, there's no charge. All our services are free.
Oh, actually, I'm here to see if I can volunteer.
You want to volunteer?
Yes?
Can you answer a phone?
Sure.
Then there you go.
I was gonna say, you can't volunteer as a lawyer, though. But it is the perfect place to work at for some administration, I guess, yeah. What's her angle, though? She just feel better here than... Oh, is that it? She didn't want to be with the Karens anymore? I don't blame her, dude.
Hello?
Kim?
Yes?
Suzanne.
This is Suzanne Erickson. You've seen the news?
I don't think so.
Your ex, Saul Goodman, he was arrested in Nebraska. He's been extradited to New Mexico. He's giving testimony that affects you, personally.
What kind of testimony?
One that will get you locked up, I guess. Damn, man, how is this going to end? We don't have that much longer left. Wow. We never even saw him put that red suit on either. I've been thinking about that too. He doesn't have it on now. He looks like one of the cousins right now. He still has the Wayfarer thing? Oh my god. Shut up, Saul. Oh shit, he's literally getting reunited. Well, reunited. Put in the same room at least.
It's showtime.
Folks.
All rise for the right honorable
Damn,
Judge
what's gonna
Samantha
happen
Small.
here? What's his plan? What is he doing?
Please take a seat.
Is he gonna do something that will help Kim?
The defendant still wants to represent himself?
That's right, Your Honor.
Mr. Castellano, today we consider the sentence for a defendant who will be pleading guilty to multiple felonies, RICO offenses, money laundering, conspiracy, accessory after the fact to the murder of federal officers. And for these offenses, the government's sentencing recommendation is 7 years.
Your Honor, I can assure you my colleagues and I gave every aspect of this recommendation careful consideration.
Your Honor.
Mr. Oakley, please advise your client to stay silent at this time.
Your Honor, with respect, Mr. Oakley is... advisory council. I'm representing myself here.
Yeah, he's a lawyer himself. He knows what he's
If I may
doing.
say something that I think will help the court fully understand the situation.
Mr. Goodman, you are the beneficiary of the most generous sentencing recommendation I've seen in 22 years on the bench. Any statement you make imperils that recommendation.
I'm very aware of that, Your Honor. 2 years ago, a man came into my office. He said his name was Mason.
He's gonna tell the same story.
He wanted one of my clients to lie for him under oath. That night, as I was leaving my office, I was attacked.
Is he gonna involve Kim in this?
The bag was shoved over my head. I was hogtied. I was driven out into the desert. I was terrified. But not for long.
Oh, he's gonna say the truth.
That night, I saw opportunity. I shot it. Big money.
Damn.
And I grabbed it, and I held it tight. And for the next 16 months, my every waking moment was spent building Walter White's drug empire.
Your Honor, we'd like to request a recess.
No, we do not need a recess.
Your Honor, we are satisfied for Mr. Goodman to continue.
Of course you are.
I'd like to petition to withdraw from this case.
Denied.
Respectfully.
Not a chance.
What is happening?
God,
But
he's
Saul
Mr.
is signing his
Goodman.
own death warrant, though. Is he trying to just get Kim off the hook, or?
I lied to the government about Kim Wexler. I fed him a load of BS about her involvement in Howard Hamlin's murder. I just wanted her to come here today. I wanted her to hear this. I kept Walter White out of jail. I laundered his money. I lied for him. I conspired with him, and I made millions. If he hadn't walked into my office that day, Walter White would have been dead or behind bars within a month.
Yeah, he was a complete amateur, just like Mike said.
Fact is, Walter White couldn't have done it without me.
Absolutely.
Your Honor, we move to strike Mr. Goodman's comments.
On what grounds?
Speculation.
Speculation? He's testifying to his own actions.
She's not giving a reaction.
He's describing
He was
events that
hoping for a
would have
smile or
transpired
something,
had he
or what?
acted
I
differently.
have one more thing to say.
Sit down, Mr. Goodman.
Please, Your Honor.
Now.
Please. What happened to Howard Hamlin? It was... I can't even... After that, Kim had the guts to start over. She left town. But
He didn't.
I'm the one who ran away. And my brother Chuck, you may have known him. He was an incredible
Don't do
lawyer.
this.
He's the most brilliant guy I ever met, but he was limited. I could have tried harder. I should have. Instead, when I saw a chance to hurt him, I took it. I got his malpractice insurance canceled.
Wow, yeah, he's
I
admitting
took
to
away
it.
the one thing he lived for, the law. After that, he killed himself. And I'll live with that.
What was all that? That thing with your brother, that wasn't even a crime.
It was.
Mr. Goodman, sit down and stay seated.
The name's McGill. I'm James McGill.
Required in order to assess the additional claims Mr. Goodman, I'm sorry, Mr. McGill, has now admitted to, including perjury on this court, Your
evidence.
I don't know if I could detect a small sense of approval in there. Oh no, this is gonna be with Chuck, isn't it? Yep, this is totally Chuck's place. You can already hear it.
I was starting to worry.
My car conked out on the 40. I got you half a dozen Fuji. And the newsstand on Central said they might start carrying the Financial Times. So that's good, right?
You know, I could hire someone to do this. I could get someone from the office.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, every day? While you're trying to start a practice? Why?
Why?
So this is right when it
'Cause you're my
started.
brother. Duh. You do the same for me. One of my deserving clients He got caught waving the weenie outside of Hobby Lobby.
Waving the
Well, hold on.
weenie.
You got to reimburse yourself.
This one's on me.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy,
He always gave him some money.
if you don't like where you're heading, there's no shame in going back and changing your path.
Oh, when have you ever changed your path?
Good question. Never.
Hey, think on it.
We always end up having the same conversation, don't we?
I'll see you tomorrow, Chuck. And I might have the Financial Times.
The time machine. It's a crazy thing, isn't it? Time. Yeah. This definitely puts a lot of things into perspective, you know, just realizing everything that's gone on. And now he's on his way to jail. Well hidden. That's me right now as well. It's fucking 30 plus degrees in here. How could he tell?
I know you. Hey. Better Call Saul.
I was gonna say, I bet he does know him.
McGill.
McGill.
I'm McGill.
Don't give me that. You're Saul.
Saul Gone, man. I'm not gonna lie, but I would be definitely like that.
Back here, yo. Told you. It's Better Call Saul.
All right. Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul.
What the fuck?
Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul.
I said shut up!
Call
Saul. Shut the hell up!
Call Saul.
Oh, now he works at his own Cinnabon in jail.
Saul. Lawyer's here.
They all just continue calling him Saul, and he doesn't even want to anymore, I guess. Shit, is he bringing in Kim? One last time, you wonder?
Ma'am.
No cuffs, please.
Yep. Just like Lalo. The look on his face is just like Lalo too.
Thank you.
God, this is so great.
Hi, Jimmy.
How did you...
Turns out my New Mexico bar card doesn't have an expiration date.
Smoking one next to the wall. Just like good old times. She's shaking. Same music.
You had him down to 7 years.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. First time it didn't go through. Ever.
86 years.
86 years. But with good behavior, who knows?
Wow. I literally sat here for 10 minutes now, just having it all kind of sink in on me before I even record this review. It was, to me, it was a perfect finale. And it was just beautiful in its subtleness once again, right? The final scene, there was no, like I mentioned listening to Baby Blue yesterday, and I saw some people in the comments already talking about, I wonder what Better Call Saul's Baby Blue is going to be, right? And you realize now, like, there wasn't going to be a Better Call Saul's Baby Blue. There was no, there was no ending that had music playing or anything, sort of over the top or explosive or something. This was just subtle, but it was a perfect callback, of course, as well, the final scene. Yeah, to the very first interaction that we saw between Jimmy and Kim at the start of the first season. It's I don't know. This episode was everything that I wanted from it in a way. And the funny thing is that I didn't know that I wanted this. Once again, it's exactly what I talked about. How this show constantly gives you stuff that you don't even know you need. And that was definitely the way I would describe this episode. Once again, it's cool though, because just talking about that ending alone for a quick minute, I also think I pointed that out. But prison really doesn't seem like a bad place for Saul, because he's surrounded by these people that all look up to him, and here they go shouting Better Call Saul, right? And he's kind of king there in a way, and he's still actually now doing the same bakery job that he did over at Cinnabon, I guess, right? Plus he's visited by Kim, which I think is ultimately, it's interesting because they never actually brought the collar back. I just thought about that, and I'm just looking at the final scene, and it's still in black and white, right? So what is that supposed to symbolize? That like those days will just never be coming back, but that's okay or something? Or I don't know if he finds it okay. Well, again, this is clearly like what he ultimately preferred. This is the first time, and that's the thing too, we saw in this episode it just building up and building up and building up to essentially making us ask that question of like, is he going to be able to actually get out of this, right? Because he managed to talk his sentence way down to like 7 years, and ultimately still decides to confess, and he sees, what it's going to be doing to Kim, and he still wants to win. I don't know. He wants to make Kim feel differently, and again, another beautiful scene. But the final look that Kim gives him in the courtroom or whatever, again, I couldn't quite tell. Like, okay, her facial expression does seem to be changing slightly. Is that like a slight nod of approval? And I think that's what it was. It's her finally being able to turn around, seeing that Saul was the kind of guy who would always want to make sure he got out of everything, and now finally admitting to it and just accepting his fate, I guess, right? Is the thing that she ultimately just respected. And so it's what she wanted from him, to play it the right way, I guess. Yeah, and at the same time, of course, we get a bunch of these flashbacks about the time machine, and it's so beautiful because time was definitely like a concept in this episode that I thought about a lot, and it's an obvious thing to think about when you realize that we've had 120 plus episodes of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, and knowing all the events that all these characters have been through, seeing of course some of the characters here that we didn't expect at all, like Marie, it brings back all those memories. And it makes you think about everything that happened. And the contrast couldn't be greater than between the scene that we have with Mike, where Mike was, even though he hates those kinds of conversations naturally, he was the first person to admit that he would have gone back in time. And first he thought about going back in time to basically prevent his son's death. But then he actually figured like, no, all the decisions I made in my life were wrong. And I should have never become that, sort of like corrupt cop, I guess. And, everything got kind of sent on a downward spiral from there. He would have tackled his whole life differently. Then at the same time, of course, we get Walt, who doesn't want to admit to that. He never wants to admit. It's interesting because he did kind of do that in the Fly episode, I remember. Thinking about how there was a perfect moment that he should have died, is what he talked about there. But here, it's like to Saul, he was never going to admit to that. I think Jesse is also the only person who Walt would have admitted that to. That's the thing, because Jesse was the only person who he saw truly as like family, right? And who he felt, who he would have opened up to emotionally. He didn't even want to, he was never even prepared to be truthful to his wife and to everybody around him. I think Jesse was one of the only people who he could truly open up to, or the only person, I should say. And we saw him do that in the Fly episode. But here to Saul, he's not willing to do that. And in a way, of course, he also always looked back at his life as like, even at the very end, he says it like, yeah, of course he regrets the fact that Hank died, and he regrets everything that happened to his family, and it's not what he foresaw and what he wanted to happen at all. But he wanted to feel alive, and that's the thing. So these last 2 years that he lived, they were by far the best years of his life in a way, right? As much as it sucks to say that, but it's true. I think it's just true. And yeah, God, and then there was still a final scene with Chuck as well, who was about to be, I guess, reading about the time machine or whatever, and he just had this conversation, which I have to think through a little bit more, but it's also interesting there to see Chuck. He was trying to steer Jimmy on this path to change, but then Jimmy very rightfully points out to him, it's not like you ever changed, and fascinating to think about too, because, yeah, both of those characters are so, they couldn't be more far apart from each other in a way. But Jimmy was right, completely right, in calling out Chuck for being like, well, this was your path that you were destined for, and you didn't want to veer away from that either, or you never second-guessed it, you never questioned it. But you are asking that of me. And, I don't know, this episode was perfect. It's cool, too, because we do get a little bit better of an idea now that, like, okay, Kim, she goes to do this volunteering work then at a little law firm or whatever, right? And still gets to be in that similar kind of environment. Yeah, and like I said, Saul being in prison, I don't see it as a bad thing. I don't think he even sees it as a bad thing. Like, I think he will be able to come to terms with it very quickly and realize that, like, this isn't all too bad, and here he can't hurt people, and he can't, he won't be on that destructive path. It's and it kind of just completes the holy trinity of, like, Walt, Jesse, Saul, and the fates that they had waiting for them. Walt died, Jesse managed to get away, but he didn't get away scot-free. He got away with lots of pain and suffering in advance, that these other characters didn't get as much, right? Yeah, and then Saul in prison. And so justice basically has been served in all ways possible to these characters, and it that just seals off the entire storyline, and it was beautiful. I could have not wished anything more out of it, I think. So there isn't really anything else that I can say. Like I said, it's a little bit surreal, and it's going to require, of course, a lot more thinking, I feel. Something like this, you won't be truly able to settle all your thoughts, and you won't truly come to terms with it, I feel, until some time passes. And of course, I'm going to be rewatching this show, probably a bunch of times in all fairness. But I always notice, speaking of time, how time kind of changes your views. It's a little hard to believe everything that's happening the first time you see it, anytime you experience something for the first time. But then as time passes and it kind of settles in on you, and you realize that this is it, I feel like, I'm already loving it now, and I feel like I'm only going to be loving it even more later. So for now, guys, I hope that you enjoyed my reaction here to the final episode, the series finale of Better Call Saul. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Once again, make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell for a lot more reactions coming up in the future. And then I want to thank you all for having joined me on the journey here. It was fantastic because, I'm so glad that I started doing reaction videos since about a year now, because it gave me the opportunity to react here to the final season of Better Call Saul, which I feel really was just a special opportunity, seeing as this has been basically the universe that got me into watching TV in the first place, and that is still by far my favorite of them all. And being able then to, share my experience of watching the last episodes of it with you all, it was just something really, you know, special and magical, I guess. So I love doing it, and I hope that you loved, you know, hearing my thoughts and you know, seeing how I felt about these episodes. So for now, I want to thank you all for tuning in, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you back on the channel very soon.